The Ottoman, Middle Eastern, and Asian arms and armor at the Wallace collection has an interesting history in that it doesn't have very much of a history. It's the last area of the Wallace collection that has not been cataloged. So it's always been a really big gap in our scholarship. And it's been ignored for pretty much all of the 20th century.
I think it is an enormously undervalued part of the collection. There's so much more than just their sparkles. That's actually the thing that I love most about working with arms and armour. I think arms and armour are fantastically personal objects. You know, they would have told people your status, your religion, your caste, where you were from. How can we have neglected it for so long?
When you don't have a proper catalogue, you don't know what these things are, really. And if you don't know what they are, you can't really present them properly to your visitors. Everything we do, the reason we are here, is all about knowledge. Knowledge of objects, knowledge of their history and their historical contexts, and the people, the lives that surround them. One of the big challenges when we set out to catalog this part of the collection was what to call it. It was conceived as this kind of non-specific Orientalist other in the 19th century. These are alien objects, is really how they were thinking about it. I was really, though, concerned with simply the matter of accuracy. And Oriental just is inaccurate because although it's a comparatively small collection, it's intensely diverse. It's diverse culturally, from a religious point of view, from a geography. It stretches from the Balkans all the way through to Indonesia. So we settled on calling it Ottoman, Middle Eastern, and Asian arms and armor because that seems to be the best balance of length and accuracy.
The most challenging part of the project was trying to understand from the beginning that you cannot put these objects in little boxes. They don't fit into neat little categories because of the trade and the sharing of ideas and decorative techniques, and the fact that objects might have had a different blade or a different hilt and been changed during their working lives, even before they got to Europe and were then rehashed again by dealers to meet Western tastes.
As head of the Conservation Department, we are in the middle of a major programme of cleaning and conservation of every single piece in the Oriental Armoury for photography. We are also investigating scientifically the construction and manufacture, in particular of the blades of our swords and daggers, using non-invasive, completely safe, totally reversible techniques such as neutron diffraction. And this has opened up an entirely new world. This collection is one of the leading museums researching this particular aspect of arms and armour.
I think this part of the collection is especially important because it represents an extraordinary cultural diversity that we could be representing. Otherwise, this is a museum of Western European art exclusively. And yet, in Sir Richard Wallace's Oriental Armoury, we have so many different cultures from so many fabulous places all over the world, manifest through a bewildering number of decorative techniques.
We're in London, we're in one of the most multicultural cities in the world, and we have this amazing group of objects. But now I think it's time to really celebrate that and get to grips with all the amazing things we've got and kind of get them out there, because most people don't know the extent of what we've got.
And we're already thinking about the redisplay and refurbishment of the Oriental Gallery itself, how to create a more magical space with more kind of exciting, emotive, evocative environments, and just more space to put more things on display. Ultimately, the quality and range and richness of the collection will reward just about anything we do with it.